running up the score. Jerry.
He just sucks.
He's not good.
let's just put it out on the table. He's not a good quarterback.
Tom.
Oh, way to join a team that already won a title.
Let's hope some people still get thrown at and, get hit in baseball.
Keep it interesting,
right?
Yeah. Where's that quarter? Let me look at that one more time.
I dare you to watch it and tweet us. Tell us, oh, you know what? This is a hell of a sport.
Where's this been all my life? I'm done. No, done. This is running up the score.
It is running up the score.
We're done here.
All right?
We're done here.
This is Running Up the Score. And it starts now.
All right, it's time to run up the score. Running up the score with Jerry Napoleonello, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. Brought to you by Yelphi Sports app. We are live on Zeno Live and Periscope. Again, I'm here with Tom Galopani. The call number is, as always, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. We have a lot to get to today. For the first time in a while, we are actually going to kick off the show with some baseball.
How about that?
We got All-Star Week. That did not disappoint, especially the Home Run Derby. I can't remember the last time I had that much fun watching the Home Run Derby. Where does this rank among the Home Run Derbies? And we'll talk about that later in the show. We have begun the presser tour for the Mayweather and McGregor fight, and boy, it did not disappoint either. And actually, the second one is, as we speak right now, you could probably find it on FS2. I think yesterday it was on FS2, and if you have Showtime, it's on Showtime as well. One thing that has been a disappointment for a long time, the New York Knicks. Well, they're in trade talks with the Rockets involving Melo, and is it just us, or is the NBA Summer League being talked about more this year than any other? We're going to get into all of these and much, much more. Got a great show ahead of us. Thank you to our sponsor, Yelphi Sports app. You can download the app from the iTunes App Store by searching Yelphi. It's spelled Yellfy. Make sure to follow me at Jerry Rutz Sports and Tom Rutz Sports, and we'll shoot you a follow back. It's a great app. But first, remember to join in with our conversation through the next hour here by calling in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live, or tweet us at RUTS Sports. You can also follow us on Instagram at RUTS Sports and like our Facebook page. So, how was your weekend?
It was good. Good weekend. Yeah. How about you?
Other than my legs being absolutely roasted.
We had a little chat about that.
Yeah. It's funny because I put sunscreen everywhere. My face, my chest, my arms, my back, my feet. That's probably the worst spot to get. The foot is the worst place to get sunburn. The worst. So I had all of that, and I didn't put it on my legs, and I was like, you know what? I hate putting sunscreen on my legs because the hair. It's the worst.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, I was all good, and it was nice at the beach.
It wasn't like too.
You didn't feel that you were getting burned, but I even turned to my girlfriend. I was like, this is the kind of weather that I know I'm absolutely getting roasted right now, but I can't feel it. Mm-hmm. So, I got home, even she got home too, and like both our legs were absolutely roasted. Like we were in so much pain, and then the next day I got out of the shower. Then like sunburn came out of nowhere. My stomach, there were spots on my back, so it was a little annoying. But I had a good weekend. Then we had the All-Star game Monday. Well, we had the Home Run Derby start Monday. The All-Star game was yesterday. I thought it did pretty well.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
The Home Run Derby, we knew was going to be a good one.
Yeah, even going into it, we talked about it last week with some of the storylines, obviously, with Logan Morrison being a little babyish. kind of backfired on him, obviously, as Sanchez knocked out one of the favorites, if not the favorite.
Well, everybody was hoping for a Judge Stanton finals.
So Sanchez really ruined that pretty quickly. But, hey, he was there and he did better than him. Yeah, I have a few stats
for the home run derby. I think the home run derby did pretty well. The All-Star game did better than last year, which is, a step ahead.
And that's even with the rule change, too.
Yeah.
So, people still tuning in, even though it doesn't decide the World Series anymore.
Yeah, the Home Run Derby had the 5th largest audience of any MLB event ever on ESPN. They had 8.6 million, 8.7 viewers across ESPN, E2, ESPN Deportes, and streaming. So that's big.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Even the celebrity softball game got good ratings as well.
I always love to tape that, and I forgot.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I love that game.
It wasn't as good as recent years, but it was a decent one. The Home Run Derby also got a 5.5 overnight rating for Aaron Judge and the rest of the people. It's an 8-year high. So that's big.
Yeah, that's good.
The previous overnight ratings, 2016 got a 4.0. 2015 got a 4.9. 2014, because it was rain delayed, it got a 3.9.
Which we talked about off air, leaving the studio last week.
And you know what? It's funny because I'm watching the home run derby. Sanchez was hitting absolute bombs. I mean, every one of them was hitting bombs. How about Charlie Blackmon?
Yeah.
A leadoff hitter. I didn't realize he was a leadoff hitter. He's a leadoff hitter.
That's it's like the Cubs approach with.
And it's funny because we were talking about Cody Bellinger last week, and I said that when they sent him the invite, the biggest thing was he wanted his dad to be able to pitch to him. If his dad couldn't pitch to him, then that was it. Like, he wasn't going to do it. I didn't realize that his dad is actually Clay Bellinger. He's got 2 rings with the Yankees. I didn't realize that. He was on the 99 team. He was on the 2000 team. I think he was also on the 2001 team. But I didn't realize that it was Clay Bellinger. So now I'm like, well, why would they not let him pitch? Because he's already in the league at one point. He's now a firefighter. Once World Series winner, now a firefighter. But I was actually pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that Cody Bellinger's. And the other sick thing is he's 21 years old. And they were a little worried about him because he's not a BP home run hitter, so they didn't know how he was actually going to do in the home run derby. I thought he did pretty well. He got to the next round. Obviously, you're going up against big guys. I think he lost to. Was it Judge? I think Judge went up to was against him. I think he lost to Judge. Right. So we did say we wanted to see them go up against each other. They did. Judge beat him out. But the craziest thing, and I would have loved to see a Stanton and Judge. Everybody would have. Yeah. Because now let's just talk about it. The first round, Sanchez put 17 out, and Stanton starts slow. Like, he started slow, and then then it got to a point where they had to rush because it's timed now, and I love it. I think they did with the home run derby, I think, is better.
100%.
So there was a lot of matchups that went down to the last 5 seconds. Like, you got to put one out, or even getting that extra 30-second bonus, which is also cool because you have to hit 2 440-foot home runs to get that 30 seconds.
Okay.
So Judge was getting it every time. Stanton. So I thought it was cool. Like, Stanton got to a point where he started to had to really ramp it up. And he was literally just crushing them, like one after one, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, wow, this guy is insane. Like, I don't know. Then you get Judge to come up, and Justin Bour, which the Yankees are looking to try to trade for, Justin Bour, he puts 22 out. And, I mean, he looked like an absolute beast when he was doing it. He was screaming between home runs. Like, he was literally going absolutely berserk between his home runs. And it was great. I thought it was hilarious because also when Sanchez was up, Aaron Judge was on with ESPN, was with Mark Teixeira, with, the whole panel there. And... so it was cool because Sanchez hitting bombs, and then they show like Teixeira going nuts and grabbing Judge and everything like that. But then when Justin Bour was up, Giancarlo Stanton was on the set with them, so he was going nuts. You see him jump over the table to get him between the timeout. So I thought that was cool. It was just funny
feeding
the way
him
that
like a donut.
Yeah, it was funny just the way how everything went, and you like to see that kind of stuff, with teammates and stuff
definitely.
that. And then Judge came up, and he made it look easy.
Yeah,
that's the scary thing.
No, that's what he does. He makes hitting 450 plus foot home runs look just effortless.
He hit a 513-foot shot. That was the longest one.
I hit 512 in the show.
Well, there you go.
That was in Coors Field, though.
It was
that. I saw that number.
It would be interesting to see a home run derby at Coors.
My guy's pretty brolic. Just want to point that out there.
But I mean, overall with Judge,
it's just too easy.
I would have loved to see if there wasn't that wall. The windows at the back of the stadium, because I would have loved to see where these balls would have ended up. But
I think that's what kind of made the Fenway Home Run Derby what it is today.
Yeah, because
you see the ball.
It's going out on the street.
That thing is on a street.
It's the same thing with Camden as well.
Yeah.
You hit it over
with
that right field that right field wall. You're hitting it onto the street. So this is Judge coming up for that 30 seconds, or I think he had the 30-second bonus in the finals, and all he needed was one. And this is what transpired.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Judge, your 2017 home run derby champion, and he made it look easy.
He really did make it look easy. He made it look scary. Easy. And now this kind of brought up the big the big question. But before we get to that big question, we want to kind of go over the top home run derbies. And I have a list here of 10. Everybody also always puts up number 1, Yankee Stadium, Josh Hamilton. I mean, Josh Hamilton.
Not me. That wasn't special. That's not number 1 to me.
He was going nuts.
But I will never forget that.
The 28 in the first round. He almost hit some out of Yankee
I was just going to
Stadium.
say, it wasn't just the 28.
Yeah.
Just getting over. These were bombs.
I mean, he hit the top deck. He hit at least one that went up 15 rows in the top deck, and he could have made it through.
Yeah. I was going to say that spot between where it goes up for the bleachers and it's all lower. He was hitting it. Plays I've never seen
He
the ball
hit it off
hit.
The back wall, by the Jumbotron.
I don't think it was quite that Barry Bonds home run where it was 750 feet estimated, but it was still ridiculous.
They have number 2, Ken Griffey, hits the warehouse. That's at Camden Yards, as we were just talking about. 1993. Ken Griffey is the only one to, I think, have 3, right? 3 winners?
Yeah.
I think he won 3 times. I think he's the only one that won it 3 times.
And I believe the Yankees have the most home run derby winners now.
Yeah, they have 4. They have Jason Giambi, Aaron Judge, Robinson Cano, and Tino Martinez. So then you have they had number 3, Giancarlo Stanton, who hit 61 last year at Petco. That was a good one.
Yes.
Anytime you see Giancarlo, I as a Yankee fan, I don't really like any players other than the Yankees, but
no,
he's one guy that
agreed.
I really, really like to watch play. And it's the same thing goes for Mike Trout and Bryce Harper, just because of the specimen that they are.
Oh, yeah. And what adds to this one, I think, is also at Petco, not the easiest place to hit home runs. So
no, not at all.
That kind of adds to it.
Then they had Todd Frazier.
This was actually a really good one. Because
number 4.
This was the first year of the new implements of the rules.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, and I was like, I like what they got going on here.
And it's also, Todd Frazier was on
hometown,
Cincinnati at the time. They were playing at Cincinnati. They were in Cincinnati. Some people put this number 1. I mean, I heard them on, I think, Frank Thomas, or I don't know if it was Frank Thomas, but they were talking about it on ESPN. They had, Todd Frazier as number 1. I was like, I don't know about that.
It's definitely worthy of being on like this list.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I mean, I wouldn't say. No. I don't know if I even put him in the top 5.
No, I just think what adds to it is the fact that it was the first one of the new rules, and you really got to see what it was all about, and obviously it's worked.
Yeah,
so far.
Absolutely. Number 5, Mark McGwire versus Barry Bonds in 1996. I mean, like this is what we're talking about. Like this is at this time now, this would be like Giancarlo Stanton going up against Aaron Judge. Like
at this time, this is when everybody wanted to be in the slam dunk competition, and NBA. At that time, that's all the big boys were doing these things. And
this isn't even at the time of Mark McGwire being the home run king. This isn't the time that Barry Bonds was going nuts either.
Well, they were probably still on roids, but
I think I think Mark McGwire is still on Oakland in this point.
I believe
in 1996.
You are right.
Yeah. So.
Yes, you are right.
So that right there just shows you, Mark McGwire wasn't the guy that everybody kind of remembers. A lot of people don't remember that he was on Oakland with Jose Canseco, the Bash Brothers, everything like that. And he was a lot skinnier at that time. Number 6, Bobby Abreu.
I remember this one.
2005. It's crazy when you start to put years next to some of these things. It's like this is 12 years ago. Like that's insane that we can put this. But even the next one, Mark McGwire in Fenway, 1999. I mean,
I remember watching that.
So do I. I mean, that was when Ted Williams came out in the wheelchair, and it was I think he was in the golf cart. It was just it was crazy.
I will always remember where I was watching that.
Number 8, Sammy Sosa hits one through the windows in 2002 when he was going up against, I think, Jason Giambi at the time at Miller Park. So this is, and then you got Cal Ripken, 1991. It's unheard of that Cal Ripken would even win a home run derby.
Yeah.
It's crazy to even
be in one.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had number 10, Coors Field, McGwire, so this is, and Griffey and,
98 was prime steroids.
Yeah.
Prime steroids.
That's what I'm saying. Like right here, 98,
within 99. The first, you can just read in the first line. Maris's single season record. Everyone's juiced out because 6 people were going for it.
That was the best time in baseball. The absolute best time in baseball.
Good.
I mean, that was the home run derby you wanted to watch because you had guys like, the Fenway one, you had Griffey, you had Sosa, you had McGwire, you had Canseco.
I believe Bonds was there.
I think Bonds. Yeah, I think Bonds was there too. It was insane. Like that at that time, you had guys that were like hitting astronomical home runs that were big names too.
The 2002 Sammy Sosa, his average home run was 470.
Exactly, it's insane. So that's the thing. Like this was the time. Like this time, you had insane home run hitters. When you look at it now, you look at an Aaron Judge, you look at a Giancarlo Stanton. What other home run hitters are really known for their home runs, Like Bryce Harper, he hits home runs, but he's not all about home runs. Mike Trout's not all about home runs. So when you start to put into perspective the era at the time of these home run derbies, and you start to look at why has the home run derby really been doing bad? Well, it's because You don't have guys like a Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds.
You don't have what would have been 5 Hall of Famers if they didn't steroids.
Exactly. That's the craziest thing. So now, what do you have as your number one? First of all,
the Boston. I will always remember that home run derby.
So do I. And I would have to say I have to put that up there as well.
Yeah, that will just always be my number one.
And I think I put this one number 2.
This was a very good one, and it's as you were just saying. Like obviously there's not the natural born home run hitters that there were here,
and it's not even just natural born home run hitters. It's just name wise, like when you really look at it, Charlie Blackmon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're not you're not a fan of a National League team, do you really know Charlie Blackmon? Miguel Sano, do you really know a guy like that? Cody Bellinger's been in headlines, obviously. He's a Dodger. Aaron Judge is a Yankee. But
see, if this took place, say, these guys kept these, had these crazy years. Say this was next year.
Yeah.
Or the year after where they're a little more established.
Exactly.
Judge is more of the face of baseball, if you will.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe, throw it on his list, but even without that, just from a pure entertainment standpoint, this one was right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Judge, as we said, is the 4th Yankees player to win the home run derby. Tino Martinez won it in '97. Giambi won it in 2002. Robinson Cano won it in 2011. That's the most home run derby winners for any team. 4 teams had 3 winners. The Mariners, all by Ken Griffey. Athletics, Yoenis Cespedes won it twice, and Mark McGwire. The Reds, Dave Parker, Eric Davis, and Todd Frazier. And the Cubs, Andre Dawson, Ryan Sandberg, and Sammy Sosa. The young Yankees in the derby, Aaron Judge, 25, Gary Sanchez, 24, were the second pair of teammates, both under the age of 26, to participate in the same home run derby. And it was last year, or 2 years ago, Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo did it for the Cubs. The rookies rule, 2 rookies participated in the 2017 home run derby. It was the 3rd time 2 rookies participated in the same home run derby. It also happened in 1986, Wally Joyner and Jose Canseco, and 2015, Chris Bryant and Jock Peterson. Bellinger and Judge were the 10th and 11th rookies to participate in the home run derby, with 4 of those rookies representing the Dodgers. The other Dodger rookies to do so were Mike Piazza in '93, Jock Peterson in 2015, and Corey Seager in 2016. Oakland is the only other team that has had more than 1 rookie in the home run derby, Jose Canseco in '86 and Mark McGwire in '87. Judge is the first rookie to win the event outright. Rookie Wally Joyner shared the 1986 title with Darryl Strawberry. There have been 364 home runs hit by rookies so far this year, 103 more than any other season at the All-Star break. The previous high for home runs by rookies at the break was 261 in 2015.
Wow. Who was a rookie then?
In 2015, that was...
I wonder who that could have been.
Well, you had... I believe it was Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo at the time.
Yes.
So, right there
year.
should just...
Okay.
I think Jock Peterson also. Yeah,
Jock
Jock
I think
Peterson.
You're right with that.
Yeah. The Giancarlo and Justin Bour were the 20th and 21st players to participate in the home run derby in their home ballpark. Stanton and Bour were the second pair of teammates to participate in the home run derby in their... they just said the same thing twice. Gary Sheffield and Fred McGriff, both representing the Padres, did that at Jack Murphy Stadium in 1992. Bellinger was the 3rd youngest derby participant. At 21 years, 362 days old, was the 3rd youngest player to participate in the home run derby, just older than Ken Griffey Jr. in 1990, 20 years old, 230 days, and Bryce Harper in 2013, 20 years and 272
20
days.
years old in a home run derby.
Yeah, that's
insane.
So, as we're obviously talking about Aaron Judge, the question arose during this whole thing, and it's kind of been there a little bit, but it kind of really made itself known after the home run derby, and is that Aaron Judge, is he the new face of baseball? When you really think about it,
it's hard to argue.
It is hard to argue.
With the amount of coverage. Well, we also get a little more, I feel, just because we're in New York. We just get a little more exposure.
You know what the biggest thing is? And it goes for any player. It went for Derek Jeter. When you're a Yankee, you're just known more. That. It's not, and like it has nothing. It has nothing against
there's nothing
Mike
to
Trout.
argue there.
It has nothing against Bryce Harper. These guys, if they were Yankees,
there's nothing to argue.
They're the face of baseball, but you don't see them much. It's not that you don't see them much. It's just. I mean,
it's a tough thing because
Yankees.
Out west, the face of baseball is Trout.
Yeah.
But right now, out east, it's Judge.
And just being a Yankee is always going to overtake anything.
Oh, yeah.
So I would have to put him up there.
Especially with Trout being hurt.
Yeah.
Just the insane things he's been doing.
And Bryce Harper's not having a bad year. He's actually having a really
great
good year.
year.
So, but
that just goes and proves to your point more that, I still believe Judge is having a better year statistically, but just in terms of coverage from what we've seen, it's not even close.
Well, that's the thing. And it's not just, and I'm not saying Aaron Judge is better than, Mike Trout. I'm not saying he's better than Bryce Harper. I'm just saying he's a Yankee. They're Angels and Nationals.
And it also adds the fact that he's the size of LeBron James playing baseball.
That is the perfect transition to the next thing. And basically, we were talking about it. What was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? Could he, is he going to change the game of baseball? And in no way am I comparing him to LeBron James. In no way am I comparing him to LeBron James. I'm comparing their size and to their sport. And not that, LeBron James isn't big for his sport, is so much bigger in his sport. No, because you have 7-footers, you have this and that.
It's just what he can do at that size.
Exactly. Yeah. And now this is unheard of.
Yeah, no,
for a position player to be doing what Aaron Judge is doing at the size that he's doing it. He's 6'7", 280 pounds. That's
bigger than a tight end.
That's what I'm saying. And I think the tall, I was reading it to you. I think out of the top 10 tallest players,
most of them were pitchers.
And you can understand that because they can generate more power. Yep. They're taller, this and that, but they're not really in that much of a physically taxing, not that pitching's not physically taxing, but in running and hitting and everything like that. When you look at Aaron Judge, he's an outfielder. He's 6'7". Nobody realized, obviously, if you're not 6'7", you don't understand how hard it is to be able to do the things that basically a perfectly sized baseball player at 6'3", 6'4".
I've gotten it's oh, you're so tall, and I'm only 6'3".
That's what I'm saying.
We're adding 4.5 more inches. That's
and I've gotten oh wow, you're so short, but I'm only 5'3", so it's not really that I'm that short.
But you got the Altuve in you.
Yeah, Altuve. It's funny though. Altuve's what, 5? He's actually 5'5". He's pretty short. But yeah, just overall, I mean,
I think this could influence some of the bigger kids, the tall 14, 15-year-olds that are seeing this guy hit 500-foot home runs. That, what?
Well, yeah.
Let's go hit 500-foot home runs if I can. Let's take advantage of this size.
And there's not that, you're 6'8", and if you want to be athletic,
play basketball.
You have to play basketball. Yep. It's not like that. You don't get that question anymore. And
I think it will definitely help.
I think it could go for, this question could go for the same with Steph Curry. I mean, just the opposite way. Everybody's looking at Steph Curry as all right, well, he's not the tallest guy, and he's doing what he's doing on the basketball court. It's all right, well, I'm only 6 foot. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So, the way that these guys are kind of changing the game in just their size wise. I mean,
definitely, because
Aaron Judge could have played any sport that he wanted to. He played basketball. He played football as well. He was great at both of them, and he picked baseball. And that's a a really risky move.
That's a very rare occurrence.
Exactly.
To see that happen.
So, I have to,
I do believe this is going to change things. I really do.
Yeah, you would have to think.
I think some of the bigger, and especially with, obviously the NBA is pretty enticing right now with the contract.
Yeah.
But, if you're, 2-3 sport guy in high school and you can go anyway, like Judge could have, football has to be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Even if it's your favorite sport, you have to be smart enough to realize how terrible the NFL is right now.
Yeah.
In terms of how they take care of their guys. And in terms, like what you're saying with basketball and Steph Curry, how appealing is it to just drain 35-foot shots and swish them to young kids? How appealing is it to young kids to see a 6'8" giant specimen hit 500-foot home runs? That's very appealing to a young person.
Absolutely.
So a big guy who's young, maybe struggling to find a sport, could see Aaron Judge and say, you know what?
Baseball's
that's my guy. That's my, I want to be like Aaron Judge.
You have a longer career and everything like that. So, but, before we even get to the break, I kind of wanted to talk about the All-Star game. Bryce Harper also was, put on record saying that he thinks that the All-Star game should do a draft.
No.
Basically what the NFL did with the Pro Bowl, basically what, the NHL has done as well. I like the idea.
I don't.
Because now the way he put it out was that the top vote getters for both sides, or the two top vote getters, are the captains. And they pick whoever not that like, oh, you know what, I think he should be an all-star. No, it's like it's the same voting. You get the all-stars. Now it's just everybody's put in a pool, and then it's like, all right, well, I'm going to take this guy with my first pick. I'm going to take this guy with my first pick. I like it because with some of these players, you're looking at say we get to say like Max Scherzer was the starter for the NL team. Say Bryce Harper gets picked for the other team, and now Max Scherzer has to go up against his teammate. And I think that's pretty cool because it's not like, when you're basically not facing each other in practice. Even when you are, it's probably not at top speed or anything like that. I think it's just it kind of adds to, say, a teammate rivalry or a teammate, bet and stuff like that. I think that's cool. I think that would add a pretty cool dynamic to an exhibition game, at least, because now it's an exhibition game. So there's nothing to do with it now. I think you're just adding to the fun because I said
couldn't hurt to give it a shot.
That's what I'm saying. And I like the idea. You don't.
You kind of got me there a little bit with that idea, but I don't know. I also kind of like. It's kind of contradictory because I was saying last week, with the whole changes and everything, but, kind of keep it AL, NL, just in terms of, like, teams within those All-Star games still have somewhat of a thing against each other, like a Cub going up against a Cardinal or something. I kind of still like, or like a Met going up against a Yankee. Different... keeping those AL, NL,
White Sox, Cubs.
Keeping that together. But you kind of got. Let's give it a shot.
Right.
Let's try it out for a year.
I liked when I heard it. This is another thing. They felt it would be better served for the game if they had a DH. Now this was in an NL park where they used to do it as NL rules. Now it's DH.
Does that hint to you that DH is coming to the NL?
That's exactly what I was just going to get into. I think you have to.
It's inevitable.
I think you have to. It's just better for the sport. Obviously, it's better for the sport. The MLB thinks it's better for the sport because they're making an NL park with a DH.
We're old timers.
We
are.
Yeah.
But this has to happen.
It has to.
This has to happen.
I've always opposed the DH. I've always was for the DH in the NL. I like as old school as I am with baseball. That's something that's got to happen. You can't have an easy out. And I know some of these pitchers can hit, but
we're talking
how
about
many
less
are
than
there?
1%.
Exactly.
And not even just that. You're giving these pitchers $200 million now.
Exactly.
And you're throwing a helmet on them and saying, go get them.
Yeah. And now the other thing is, This was a 2-1 game. It was 1-1 going into the 10th inning. And then Robinson Cano hit the home run. The game was dominated by pitching. And it's been dominated by pitching for probably the last 3 years or so. Which is more important for a team? Great offense or great pitching? And I think we're seeing that now because you got to think about it.
It's got to come down to pitching with the cold weather.
This is all the best position players in the sport at this time.
But it's also the best pitchers.
It is. So right there shows you that better pitching beats better hitting.
Yep.
So now this should be like a blueprint for some of these for some of these teams. You have
kind of like what the Mets were building.
Exactly. But you have to actually keep your pitchers healthy. So, and that was the funny thing. That was going to be the joke. But I totally forgot about it until you just brought that up. I had that joke, ready for me.
They had the blueprint.
Totally forgot. They had the blueprint. They had it. It wasn't even the blueprint.
No,
they already had it set in stone.
They had the plan. Yeah, they had everything.
But it just doesn't work out that way, especially if you're the Mets.
You're the New York Mets.
So,
that's funny.
Yeah. So now we're gonna take a break. Later on, we're gonna ask the question: does Barry Bonds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? The Giants honored him the other day. We're gonna ask the question, and I'm gonna get your answer. You're gonna get my answer. When we get back, after this word from Yelphi. Hey, Tom, doesn't it get annoying when you're watching sports? Let's say you want to send a text to your friend or tweet something out about the game or check your fantasy team or, hey, how about you want to go to the game? Even set up a tailgate party. You have to go to all these different apps, websites, etc. to do all of that. What if you could just go to one place for all of this?
You're telling me there's one place?
There is one place.
What?
And I'm here to tell you that place is Yelphi Sports app. You can get detailed real-time scores, stats, news, rumors, fantasy news, team and player comparisons, built-in social network feature, which is integrated with Twitter and Facebook, create private one-to-one or group chat with your friends, buy and sell tickets, host a tailgate party, a pickup game, one sports app for all your sports information. Make sure you go download Yelphi Sports app in the iTunes App Store. Yelphi, the only sports app that you need.
All Noise Radio. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Hey, this is Jerry Napoleonello, host of Running Up the Score. We are live once every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we hit on all the top headlines in the world of sports. You can also find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and those of you that like the visual aspect, check us out on YouTube. Running Up the Score. We run up the score on Sports Radio.
Cyberstation USA is the future of radio. Get your business into the online future at the world's largest internet radio station. From banner placement on our homepage to any of our broadcaster stages, commercials on our video player, audio spots on any of our shows, or at the beginning of any of our on-demand broadcasts. Cyberstation USA offers competitive rates with a worldwide reach. A fully integrated one-stop shop social media broadcast platform. For more information, please contact our sales department at Cameo at cyberstationusa.com.
Hey, this is Tom Gallipani, co-host of Running Up the Score. Remember to catch us every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RUTS Sports. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, where you will get the full Running Up the Score experience. Running Up the Score. Rerun Up the Score on Sports Radio.
My mama call, see you on TV, sunset done changed.
Now back to Running Up the Score. Here's Jerry and Tom.
Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication.
All right, Jerry, we had our first taste of the Mayweather versus McGregor fight with the first press conference on Tuesday, and I have to say it was very entertaining. We're going to get into this, but first, give us a call at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. You can also follow and tweet us at Ruts Sports, as well as follow us on Instagram at Ruts Sports. Check out our website at www.rutsports.weebly.com. It has officially begun, Jerry. What did you think about the press conference?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, it was.
I mean,
it was a good time.
I was literally dying laughing. You know, just the way that Conor McGregor first came up, and the way that
kills
he
it, man.
like the way that he just, you know, he was like, I got this in four
If there's
rounds.
one thing I strive for in life, it's to
The
have
confidence.
confidence of Conor McGregor, because it is amazing. It truly is.
This is what he had to. This is just the clip of what he had to say in the press conference yesterday.
He's in a tracksuit. He can't even afford a suit anymore. The Rose is at 2012 outside. He is. There's no other way about it. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words.
Yeah, so right there, like, just shows you how it was
It's
going.
amazing.
I mean, it was hilarious. The whole thing was, they didn't really know how this was going to go, because this was a boxing, press conference. Usually in the UFC press conference, they have the table lined out, all the fighters on that card sitting down, and basically all the writers, reporters, everything like that, ask them questions. They just answer it, whatever. That's how it goes. This was like,
This is you're on a stage.
yeah, like
basically.
this was like, well, McGregor has to come up, do a speech. Mayweather has to come up, do a speech. Then they're going to stand in front of each other. Then they're going to have their own press conference, which was weird. And you can tell that McGregor had no idea what was going on.
He even said it at one point. He's
Yeah,
like, "This is
like,
all new. Like,
yeah,
this
like,
is
he
not how we do it."
And so that was all off the top of his head. Mayweather just, to me, he looked like an idiot. The way that he
tried to be
sounded.
something that he's not.
Yeah. And it wasn't just that Mayweather looked like an idiot. I think everybody else that looked like an idiot that made this out about race. Because at one point you hear McGregor basically say, dance boy, dance. He didn't mean it like that.
In case you people don't know, dancing is a boxing term.
Yeah. Mayweather was, at the time, he was basically like shadow boxing. Mm-hmm. And that's why, McGregor said that. Then all of a sudden, McGregor's mic goes out, and he can't respond to anything that Mayweather said. So Showtime came out and said that they didn't cut the mics out. They were blaming it basically on the event, basically, obviously, the Staples Center. Dana White also came out saying that the audio wasn't the greatest. While they were on the stage, they couldn't really hear anything. So obviously, I think there's 3 more of these. Today, they're in Canada. They're in Toronto. Then tomorrow, they're in NYC over here. And then I think Friday or Saturday, something like that. I think it's Friday
thank God
or
I'm not in the
Monday,
city
something like
tomorrow.
that. They're in London. So
Yeah, they're hitting everywhere.
yeah, and that's the press conference tour. Like that's the Maymac.
Well, I mean,
World
the
Tour.
fight's only a month and a half.
Yeah, a little bit.
Month and 10 days.
Yeah.
Or 50, month
I'm
and 2
excited.
weeks.
I'm excited for the weigh-in. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's-
Right there should probably get the amount of pay-per-view, buys than anything else. But there's a lot of controversy over this fight, and not over the fighters. The fighters really have nothing to do with this. This is more of the UFC, and in my opinion, their best reporter. That was Ariel Helwani, who has his own radio show now, everything like that. This kind of dates back to, I think, 2016 or 2015. I think it was early. I think it was actually maybe a year from, I think it was June of 2016. It was a fight between Brock Lesnar and I forget who else, but
who did he fight?
He basically reported that Brock Lesnar was in serious talks to compete on the UFC 200 card. Later that evening, UFC basically banned all the reporters and photographers that were with Ariel Helwani. It turns out they said that he's banned for life now. Then I think a month later, they gave back his credentials, everything like that. Then it all comes down to yesterday, he gets on a flight, gets to Los Angeles, gets to the place, and then they tell him that he's not allowed in. He's allowed to report on the fight.
But not actually at the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wouldn't be a part of the UFC.
Now, did he? Well, no. I mean, I guess he kind of messed up, but not really, because it happens in every sport.
He's doing his job.
Yeah, it happens in every sport.
I mean, Adrian Wojnarowski, Adam Schefter. I mean, Adam Schefter. Look what Adam Schefter did with the whole Jason Pierre-Paul thing. Yeah. When he basically tweeted out his medical records.
Yeah.
Right there, if that was UFC, they would have put him in a jail cell.
I was just gonna say, he's going to jail.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is.
So he found out that he got banned again from any part of this fight. He's not allowed on the press tour.
But this is the thing that might actually benefit him.
Yeah,
in a sense of maybe people are well, he's the only guy I wanted, cared about reading his stories. Now it's going to go watch his podcast.
This just helps his podcast.
I was just going to say, now. Well, he's the only one I got my UFC news from, so I'm just going to his podcast now.
Exactly.
Screw your other reporters.
Exactly. So now we're going to move on, talking about Adrian Wojnarowski. We're going to move on to the NBA. David Griffin, he bowed out of the Knicks job.
They just cannot get anything right.
And right now, Steve Mills has the job. He wants the job. The Knicks are telling him that he has to interview people to take that job. It's just you can't make it up with the Knicks. It's just it's like the Jets. You can't make it up with them. There's a reason that David Griffin, the best GM out there right now that is available, he bowed out because you're not giving him the power that he wants.
And not only wants, deserves, by the way.
Exactly. So this whole organization is such a joke.
It is. It's
really is
beyond
such a joke. But another part of this team, Melo, he's headlining a trade rumor between the Rockets and the Knicks, and then two other teams. So this is going to be a big trade. Supposedly, from what we heard from New York Daily News and Frank Iasola, this trade is on the 2-yard line. So are we going to have a 2-yard line of the New England Patriots, or are we going to have a 2-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks? What's it going to be?
Should have ran it.
That's what are the Knicks going to do? The Knicks,
no,
they're known to pull a Seahawks. That's a Seahawks move. So we'll see what happens.
Right now, Jim Dolan's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. What are we going to do? So we'll see what happens. This should, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
I feel bad for
tonight
Melo,
or tomorrow.
I really do.
I don't.
I do. He was my favorite coming out of that draft.
He had his chance to get out of New York a while ago, and he said he wanted to stay.
But do you blame, This is a place you would want to win if you had a normal, competent owner.
But do you really believe that he wanted to stay in New York because, he just wanted to play for New York?
That's a whole different question.
Because I think that's all bullcrap. To be honest with you, and I'm going to give you
he would have got his money anywhere. Though.
No, I know. I'm going to give you my opinion on why he stayed in New York.
Okay.
He did not want to be second fiddle to anybody.
He
wanted to be the number one guy,
Yep.
and I will give it to him. He wanted to be the number one guy to win in New York because as we were just saying with Aaron Judge,
no, I hear that.
New York is just so much bigger, and it's not anything against any other city, state, whatever. New York is just bigger.
Well,
Things
that's not
happen
negative,
bigger.
That's just factual.
Yeah, things just happen bigger in New York. So. To me, I think it was very selfish in the way that he did it.
Okay.
You
can admit to the fact he has literally had no help his entire career.
No, not at all. Not at all. But that right there should have told you that you got to get out of New York as quick as possible.
The best player Melo has ever played with was probably old AI. On Denver.
And he's old then.
That was probably
that's
the best
thing.
player he ever played with.
You had Chauncey Billups at one point.
I do see your side. I'm sticking to mine, but I do see where you're coming from where suck it up and just be 1A.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Like if a championship is so big to you, then go be second fiddle to somebody. And it wasn't like listen, Melo is one of the best scorers ever in the NBA. Nobody wanted to play with him. And that's the thing. Nobody wanted to play with him. So it made the Knicks' job a lot harder. They're not good at that job either. So it just... I don't know.
Okay,
but
let's move on.
Summer League... and I've been asking this question a lot lately, especially at work, because we've been covering it. Not that we haven't covered it before, but I feel like the Summer League is being covered and talked about so much more than any other year before.
A lot has to do with the Ball family, of course.
Absolutely.
But not even just... It's just this young crop of... great players.
Yeah,
so
I feel like De'Aaron Fox is a big name. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about Jason Tatum.
He's been
good. Yeah, and you see that Danny Ainge may have made the right choice with taking
we'll see.
Jason Tatum.
So far,
look at Fultz is hurt. Are we gonna have another it's almost like the Madden curse. It's like the 76ers curse. Like you go in, there's only one player that has played his rookie year for the last 4 years with the 76ers, and that was Jahlil Okafor, and he played 50 games. Every other first-round pick that they've had for the last 5 years has not played a game. That's
amazing, actually.
And it's scary to think that Markelle Fultz got hurt.
It is. That has to...
It's almost like the Mets.
That has to run through your mind immediately as
Absolutely.
a 76ers fan.
Absolutely. So, I just thought it was interesting.
No, it's definitely...
It's being talked more than anything.
Way more.
The NBA is planning to move the trade deadline to before the All-Star game, which is interesting. Also, there has been some rule enhancements, I guess you want to say.
I did see that with the timeouts.
Yeah.
Not enough. I'm sorry.
I got to see what it is. I have it right here.
What do you need 14 timeouts for?
The rule modifications for timeouts are below. Each team will have 7 timeouts per game with no restriction per half. All team timeouts will be 75 seconds. In the previous format, full timeouts were 90 seconds and 20-second timeouts were 60 seconds. Both full and 20-second timeouts have been replaced by team timeouts. All 4 periods will have 2 mandatory timeouts, which will take place after the stoppage under the 7 and 3-minute marks. The under 9-minute mandatory timeouts, the second and fourth periods will be eliminated. Each team can enter the fourth period with up to 4 team timeouts. Each team will be limited to 2 team timeouts after the later of the 3-minute mark of the fourth period, or B, the resumption of play after the second mandatory timeout of the fourth period. Each team will have 2 timeouts team timeouts per overtime period. Previously, teams had 3. So that's interesting. We'll see how it, you'll probably start seeing it in preseason.
Should help. Just to make the last 2 minutes of a fourth quarter watchable, actually.
Well, that's the thing. The last 2 minutes, maybe even the last minute of a game, turns into a half hour.
So bad.
But moving on to the NFL, Snacks Harrison of the previously the Jets, now the Giants. And last year it was the Giants as well. He made some comments about Eli Manning not being on the top 100. This is what he had to say on Good Morning Football on NFL Network.
Eli, not top 100.
It makes no sense, but at the same time, you have rookies from last year, which if we're going off just the year alone.
Dak was voted the 14th best player in the NFL. The 14th best player. You play in the NFL a long time. Mm-hmm. What do you make of Dak Prescott, a rookie quarterback who you guys beat twice, making it 14th out of everybody?
Can I pass on that question?
Yeah, of course. Or you can make good TV.
You have to answer who in the top 100 you'd kick out to put Eli in.
Myself, number one. Eli, when you look at Eli, it's kind of like when you look at LeBron. I'm not saying they're the same,
right?
But look at Eli's numbers.
Right.
Any other quarterback would have those numbers. It'll be an amazing year. But it being Eli, nobody is respecting it as much as we do LeBron. LeBron can average 30, 15 rebounds and 12 assists, and it's like he didn't do it now.
Right.
So I don't know what's the deal. Yeah.
All the while he's doing it in New York, the big market. Never shifts the blame. Always takes responsibility. And then when he wins, he always directs it in other places.
And if he wins a couple more rings, he could be in the Dak Prescott conversation.
So he didn't like that, and I didn't like his comments about Dak.
This is based on last year.
That's what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with his career. This has everything to do with last year. Now, granted, there's some players on this list that they took into consideration his basically his career. J.J. Watt was on this list.
I was just going to say
he played 3 games last year. That can't happen. The other one is number 44, Cam Newton. He did not have a good year last year.
He did
at
not.
all.
No.
There is no reason why he should be up there. And then when you start to look at it, the other quarterbacks ahead of Cam Newton, Matt Stafford, he had a really good year. You could probably put him higher than he was, 31. The other quarterback, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had an all right year. Ben Roethlisberger had an okay year. Drew Brees
happy about those.
had a good year.
He had a good year.
Dak Prescott. Everybody's saying that it's because he's a rookie. He had a good year.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really look at it, the guy had an unbelievable year for what he had to endure when it comes down to it. Tony Romo getting knocked out in the preseason, then having that shadow of, all right, is Tony Romo going to come back? So the fact that he did what he did, the Dallas Cowboys were 13-3 last year. So to me, you have to put him over Eli Manning. You have to. The fact that he's saying it's just
not to mention, I believe
some
Eli
of that stuff just annoys the crap out of me.
The most interceptions, I believe, of his career last year.
Yeah, and I know that I don't want to turn it into his career, but he's led the league in interceptions in three years in his career.
And last year I believe was his statistically worst season, if I'm not mistaken.
So to me, it's just it's dumb. Yeah,
That's sticking up for your guy.
No, I understand that. And he's never had a quarterback because he was a Jet. So that's another thing.
Well, was he on the Super Bowls?
The AFC Championship teams?
No, Snacks went from... He was an old Jet turned Giant?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Giant
first,
Jet, then Jet. Giant
Giant. He was
Jet
and then
a Giant
Jet,
again.
and he was drafted by the Jets.
Okay.
And then went to the Giants last year.
Okay, gotcha.
And I don't even think he was around for the AFC Championship teams.
Gotcha.
So there's that. Then you had some comments about another quarterback from a legendary quarterback, Joe
One of the
Montana
best.
made some comments about Colin Kaepernick, and he was asked by the Sporting News basically why Colin Kaepernick isn't signed with a team. His answer was, "I'm not sure. I think if there's an injury somewhere, he's probably getting in." You look at Tim Tebow, a great guy. Everybody was talking about him, but what it comes down to is 40% completion or even in the low 50s. You can't win in the league with that. You won't be in the league very long. It comes down to his play as much as anything, which basically this is the guy that I compared him to when we first – I mean, listen to the intro. When I say that he sucks, that's Colin Kaepernick that I'm talking about. If you go back to that show and listen to my comments, this is almost exactly what Joe Montana said today or yesterday. Everyone thinks it's his stance he took. One of the things you don't look for is distractions in the locker room. You can go back to Bill Walsh, and as soon as there was guys that weren't fitting in what he was looking for, it didn't matter how good you were. You weren't on the team for very long. You have to have people who want the same thing, fighting for the same thing, and willing to put in the time. So this is this is exactly what we've been talking about for the last 3 months. And I think he hit it right on the head, with his comments.
Does the stance that he took help him? No. Because why would a team want to go through all these distractions when you're just not a good quarterback?
Exactly. That's the thing. And they actually made the comment. I forget what show I was listening. It might have been I think it might have been Colin Cowherd's show. Jason Whitlock filled in, and I think Mark Schleller.
Stink.
Yeah, basically, he moved over to FS1 now. He was on The Herd with Jason Whitlock, and he basically said if that was Tom Brady and he made that stand, he would have a job because of. He's Tom Brady. He does on the field. Colin Kaepernick, if he was actually good, someone would give him a chance. He's not good. He's not.
Not worth the distraction, not as a backup quarterback.
Not at all. And before we get out of here, right now, I think starting at 8 is the ESPYs, which I'm kind of interested to see because Peyton Manning is hosting it. I've always liked Peyton Manning. I think he's funny.
Okay.
You're not a big Peyton Manning fan, aren't you?
His commercials were always pretty good.
So right now we have 3.
Papa John's got annoying.
Yeah,
but
I know.
The original ones were good.
We have 3 winners so far. And that's, before it started. The
important ones, actually.
Yeah, Jimmy V Perseverance Award goes to the super fan of the New Orleans Saints. And actually funny, you should follow him on Instagram. He's actually really hilarious. Subscribe to his YouTube page after you subscribe to ours. Jarius Robertson, he's hilarious. Arthur Ashe Courage Award goes to Eunice Kennedy Shriver. I don't know who she is. The Pat Tillman Award for Service goes to Master Sergeant Israel Del Toro. Best Athlete. I think if we do it really quick, we might be able to get some of these in. Best Male Athlete. Chris Bryant, Crosby, Phelps, Westbrook. Who do you think? I think Westbrook's going to get it.
Okay. Chris Bryant.
Okay. Best Female Athlete. We don't have to talk about that because I don't know.
Simone Biles is going to win.
I think it's Serena Williams.
Okay.
Best championship performance: Tom Brady, Kevin Durant, Shea Knighton, Deshaun Watson. Tom Brady.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. It's not even. Best breakthrough athlete: Giannis Antetokounmpo, Laurie Hernandez, Aaron Judge, Dak Prescott, Christian Pulisic. That's a tough one.
Wait, whoa. Okay, I thought it was something else.
That's a tough one.
That is tough. Because I think attention-wise, it's got to be Judge or Prescott.
Yeah.
But, actually-wise, Giannis Antetokounmpo had a crazy year.
He did, and I think it all comes down, again, he's a buck.
Yeah.
So
it's the name of the game.
You have Dak Prescott, who's a Dallas Cowboy, and you have Aaron Judge, who's a New York Yankee. Also, Christian Pulisic is a USA soccer player. So that's another one that you can put up there. I'm going to go with Dak.
I will. Yeah, I'm going to go Dak too.
Best record-breaking performance, Bill Belichick, most Super Bowl wins. Michael Phelps extends his own record.
How is that even there?
Yeah, no. Diana Taurasi breaks WNBA career
Speaking
scoring
of
record.
old, that name.
Yeah, well, I remember when she was in college.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook, most triple-doubles
That's
in
probably
going to
be Westbrook, I feel like.
I think Westbrook's going to win it, too.
Yeah.
Best upset, Clemson defeats Alabama. Dennis Istomin over Novak Djokovic. Mississippi State defeats Connecticut. I was going to go Clemson before, and then all of a sudden I saw the Mississippi State. I think I got to go Mississippi State. To be honest with you, I mean, they were what?
They were undefeated.
Yeah, but how
90-something, I think.
Was
70-something?
Was it 99?
I think it was in the 90s,
like that,
yeah.
96.
I think it was in the 90s.
Best game, Cubs-Indians World Series Game 7, Patriots-Falcons, Super Bowl, Federer-Nadal. I feel bad for Federer and Nadal.
Yeah.
Because there is no chance that they win this. Because even if the Patriots and Falcons don't get number one, it's definitely the Cubs and the Indians. But I have to go with the Patriots and the Falcons.
Yeah.
You have to. As much as I love baseball, as much as I love that game,
that's a shame.
that Patriots-Falcons, first of all, it's a Super Bowl, and just the way that game came out. Best comeback athlete, Matt Bush, Roger Federer, Jordy Nelson, Candace Parker. I'm going Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, he'll probably get it because
Candace Parker, what? She came back from what? A pregnancy?
Yeah.
Come on. Jordy Nelson tore up his knee.
Well, it's kind of like the female, like.
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
the same, same time length. You're out the same amount of time.
Best play, Julian Edelman, Super Bowl catch, Morgan Williams. They actually did this.
Oh, look at that.
They did it like tournament style.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah. I'm not going through all of these.
That's too much, yeah.
I'm going Julian Edelman right from the start. I have to. You have to.
Yeah.
And
just looking at the
yeah. And this is the last one that we'll get into. There's so much more. Best team: Cubs, Tigers, Clemson Tigers, Golden State Warriors, Penguins, Patriots, South Carolina Gamecocks.
Warriors are winning it because everybody's on the bandwagon.
No, Patriots.
Okay.
I'm going Patriots.
Okay.
But that will do it. Hope everybody had fun listening. If you have a chance, go back and watch the press conference. It's on YouTube. And make sure you watch the ESPYs tonight. Jarius Robertson will definitely say something funny. I can guarantee it. So check that out. Peyton Manning is obviously going to say something funny as well.
We hope.
Yeah. But we'll be back next week. We're going to get into some second half baseball stuff next week.
Yeah.
Actually, we had that question that we asked before. Does Barry Bonds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Do we save it?
Do you want to save it?
I guess we'll save it.
We can save it. We'll save it.
We'll build it up a little bit.
We'll save it. Make sure you check it out next week.
See, that's how you do it.
To get the answer.
You got him in.
To get the answer. But that will do it. For running up the score, last week I actually almost ended it with saying Tom and Jerry Sports Show.
Yes,
that's old school.
But speaking of making me feel old.
Yeah, right. But we will be back next Wednesday talking sports once again. As I said, that will do it. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tom.
Be breezy.
Be breezy.
And it is all over!
You've been listening to Running Up the Score. We run up the score on Sports Radio.